Right, I think we shall begin now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good day to everyone. Happy holiday for those who are in Johor because today is supposed to be a public holiday, Hari Hol, the late Sultan of Johor. But I couldn't find any other dates that is possible for me due to other commitments. And I really wanted to do this as early as possible, right after you finish your practical training and before the semester begin. So this is the best possible date that I have. So I'm so sorry that I have to call you out during the weekend. So do my own weekend. But I believe that this session will be very important and it will benefit all of you, right? So today, I combine both SBEQ and SBEC students. So based on my list, there are supposed to be about 120 students, right? So currently we have 103. One student informed me that he couldn't attend or she couldn't attend. I'm not that sure. Um, so yeah, it's supposed to be about 120 students. So now we have 103. So I believe some will come and join us shortly. But I cannot wait. We will start or we'll begin this session slowly, hoping that they will come and catch up as soon as possible. Okay, let me share my screen. Right, so you'll see my screen. Please give some icons or thumbs up so that I know that you are with me, that you all can see the right screen that you're supposed to see, so that, whatever that I'm talking is in line with what I've shown on the screen. Thank you very much. So, I believe you all know that one of the course that you are taking next semester will be research methodology, right? SBEQ 4882 and SBEC 4932, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that course, that subject called research methodology, or in Malay is kaedah penyelidikan, right? So today, why I call it as a crash course, okay? Because within these 4 hours, I wanted to give you the overall view about research methodology together with thesis, right? So you will came across, maybe from your senior, you have seen somewhere terms such as PSM or thesis. So PSM and thesis is very much correlated with research methodology. So I'm going to explain to that to you later on. So it's crash course because within these 4 hours, I wanted to give as if like you are learning or you're being introduced about research methodology from A to Z within a short period of time. That's how we call it crash. So I don't expect you to understand and will be able to brain 100%, but at least it will give you some ideas about a research methodology, about PSM, about thesis, about PSM1, PSM2, and whatnot, right? Um, okay. So as I told you earlier on, research methodology next semester will be one of the course that you are taking. So I'm assuming that everyone has done with the pre-registration. So one of the course will be kaedah penyelidikan or research methodology. So as a subject, it has the course has its own course information ataupun CI. So this CI you will receive ataupun you will see the CI for each and every course ataupun subject that you are registered. Alright, so do dalam kaedah penyelidikan as a subject, there will be a course information. However, for the upcoming semester, for the semester 1, this course information is yet to be prepared because we are yet to distribute the task. Who's going to teach what subject. We haven't done that. So what I'm going to share with you is just a sample of course information that from the previous years, right? So I'm going to share this sample. So this is CI from some last year, 2021-2022 semester 1, right? So this is the course code undergraduate project 1 ataupun research methodology, 2 credit hours. So you're going to receive the new one, the updated version. This is the previous years, but I just wanted to show some key information within this course information, yeah? So actually the PSM coordinator, if you're thinking about the thesis, the project Sarjana Muda, it is coordinated by Dr. Farah Azwani, right? But then, as for the research methodology course for the subject, myself and Dr. Nafisa will be teaching you, right? Research methodology. So we're going to have a weekly class for 14 weeks, right? Next semester. So I'm going to cover the first few weeks before mid-semester break. And then Dr. Nafisa will take over the remaining of the semester, right? So let's see into the course learning outcome. So what is course learning outcome? It is a statement, right? By the end of next semester, you as the student will be able to do all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are those? The first one, to identify issues of problem, right? Leading to the development of the subject area and objective of the research. So you as student must be able to identify the issues and problems, right? So what are the issue and problem for you today, this morning? Can someone tell me what are the issues or problem? I know Shifa. Any issue or problem that you have experienced or discovered this morning? Only one problem. Alia Hani? I need some answer. Okay, put on the chat box. Only one problem that you have experienced or discovered this morning. You are hungry. Good. Okay, that is a problem. Betul tak? Betul. Alright, first, I wanted to see the problem. Put on the chat box. If you don't want to speak, put on chat box. Stomach ache. Not enough sleep. Lagi, dua orang je ada problem. Yang lain tak ada problem. You wake up happy, no problem. Everything has just been prepared for you. Even your laptop already on the position for you to join the class. Internet connection and whatnot. Yeah, those are problems, right? But this problem must lead to the research area ataupun objective. For example, if I'm taking Dave a problem earlier, lapar, right? So what is the objective? The objective is to get your stomach full or to get some food. That would be the objective. Attraction of pen. All right. Ziwe, I'll try to keep you attracted and stay with me in front of your device. Yeah. Okay, that's your the first learning outcome. Second learning outcome, to describe research methodology to achieve a specific objective, right? The methodology. So if I can put a simple analogy, the methodology is the bridge to connect you from the problem to the solution. Okay, I repeat, methodology is the bridge to connect between your problems and your possible solution. So you need the bridge, you need the methodology. Number 3, prepare a viable proposal for academic research, right? You have to submit your research proposal and then seek relevant information from variety of sources. So dalam doing PSM or research PSM or thesis, you need to seek a lot of information. Okay. Number 5, present research proposal clearly, effectively, and confidently. So this is involve a oral presentation. You see, this is how you're going to be assessed. Oral presentation, individual presentation to a group of panel, right? Okay. Okay, that is the learning outcome. There are only few things that I wanted to highlight from this. So this is our weekly schedule. You're going to learn, topic by topic every week. Okay. Remember, this is research methodology as per subject, as per the course. So you have weekly course, weekly lecture, and we have a specific topics to be learned ataupun to be introduced to all of you. Until final examination week, of course, tak ada final exam, but you have your ataupun your presentation, right? So this is weekly schedule. That is not that important. Okay. So this is assessment. So attendance, library session, and timely submission of research report. So there'll be a lot of submission this semester, upcoming semester, and you must adhere to that submission deadline. So all of this will contribute 10%. And then this is by the coordinator, okay? Dr. Farah Azwani, myself, and Dr. Nafisa. We will decide your fee for 10%, right? And then performance and progress, this is based on the logbook. So you, again, this semester, you must also fill up the logbook. It is much simpler than LI logbook, right? So that is 10%, and you'll be assessed by your own supervisor. Remember, this is Dr. Nafisa, myself, Dr. Farah Azwani. Over here, this is your supervisor, 10%. And then report, research proposal, CPP, and research progress report, LKP. This is 70% also by your own supervisor, right? And last but not least, your presentation, Viva, there will be another 10%. So total 100%. But your fate is actually determined by your own supervisor because they will contribute 80% of the mark to your overall grading and 10% or 20% from others. Okay? So my advice, work closely with your supervisor. Do not create issue. Try to follow through their styles and way of doing things because every supervisor may have different approach in supervising their own PSM ataupun thesis students, right? So I'll just give you an example. Dr. Saidin is working very early in the morning, so he's gonna meet his student on a specific day of a week at 7:30 a.m. if I'm not mistaken, uh, right? So that is his style, right? So I have my own style of supervising students, and so do the other lecturers. So just work closely, follow through whatever of course lah, the good instruction can from your supervisor because they will determine your grade because they contribute 80% out of 100% marks. Okay, okay. As I mentioned earlier, during PSM1, there are a lot of submission. There are a lot of deadline for you to follow. So for PSM1, for research methodology, remember, you attend the class weekly. That one we call it research methodology. But at the same time, okay, let me just write something. Okay. Your semester 1, 2022-2023, there are two things happens in parallel. Okay, within this subject, research methodology. Okay, research methodology subject. There are two things running in parallel, bersama-sama. First, you must attend lecture. Okay, so this is weekly between you myself, and Dr. Nafisa Abdul Rahiman. So this is happening every week lah. I'm not belum ada timetable, but beginning week once every week for 14 weeks, right? And on the other hand, parallel, yeah, you're gonna work on your thesis, right? And for semester 1, we call it PSM 1. Nanti semester 2, you will take PSM 2 4 credit. PSM 1, 1 credit. This is, what should I put here? Continuously. Between, okay, ni student plus myself and the Tamisa. This is between student and your own supervisor. Like myself, I have 3 supervisors, 2 from SBQ, 1 from SBC. So you come and attend lecture with me. At the same time, you are going to be supervised by me. So each and every one of you, you all attend lecture with me and Dr. Nafisa. At the same time, you have to work with your supervisor for your PSM1. Okay, and then, so there are, okay, for this one, okay, for this part, yang sebelah kanan ni, yang saya kata ada banyak deadline and submission. Right? So this is just an example because this is the previous CI ya, bukan yang you all punya. Okay? So when you receive your course information, all the dates will be fixed. Okay? Because PSM is different from other courses. If you're taking one subject with me, you feel like you cannot make it on time, you request for extension, I may give you few days, I may give you 1 week, I may give you longer than that. Because it's only between you, student under my course, with me. But for PSM, it involved the whole of the department members, both student and also the lecturers. So all dates we already fixed, right? For example, we have briefing, you tengok all the nanti you akan dapat lah. Okay, first round submission, week number 4, and then second round submission, week number 6. And then kita ada submission of CPP, week number 10, submission of LKP, week number 13, and presentation, week number 16. So, I think the dates nanti you akan dapat dates yang baru lah. This is an example ya. But I wanted to highlight this. So Viva, so this Viva involve full-time student and part-time student. Okay, so that's why we fix this way ahead of time. So this date is not going to be changed. Melainkan something bad really happen. I mean, like major disasters or whatnot. But we will not defer the date due to issues such as adik saya nak kahwin, family saya nak pergi holiday, nenek saya nak pergi haji or umrah. You know, such thing we are not going to entertain. Because this Viva involve the whole community of the department, plus full-time student, you have 120, okay? So part-time student, next semester, we will have 2 groups, one group from KL Center and another group from Kuching Center. So they all will come to Johor Bahru on these dates for the presentation. So that's why this date, we are not going to change. Not this one, yeah? The new one nanti. This is just an example. Week number 16, semester 1, that we will determine the dates and we'll let you know. But my point here is that this date is not going to be changed. We're going to fix that. So please arrange your time. Please inform, once you get the date, inform your family members. There will be no vacation. Do not travel overseas. Do not plan to go to Umrah on this date, right? Sorry, we are not saying that that is not good, but we can't afford to do that within this management of this PSM. Yeah. So this date. Okay. So I think I'm done with the information. If you have any question, you may ask now before we proceed. You can use your audio or you can put it on the chat box if you have any question. If you have no question, give me some thumbs up so that I can proceed. Yes, Jahui? Just unmute yourself and then start talking. Jahu, do you want to say something? Yeah, Eric? Or you wanted to give thumbs up, tapi you raise your hand. Is that the case? I don't know. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Eric, nothing. Yeah. Okay. All good. So we're gonna move to next one. So we're done with the cost information. Next is UTM thesis manual. So this is how your thesis is going to be look like in somewhere in July 2023, right before you graduate. So this is a new format of thesis book. We started use somewhere in 2018, right? Before this, it was a different format, according to the faculty. So FAB used to be a purple color. This is an A4 size. Now we reduced to B5 and this color scheme, and it is applicable to all undergraduate student degree throughout UTM. Okay, it's going to be the same cover like this. Okay, so there is, in order for you to produce these thesis, you must follow the UTM thesis manual. So this is UTM thesis manual, right? So over here, it's already stated, a lot of information within these guidebooks. Okay. So, the format of the thesis, how we put the table and figures, language to be used, thesis title, numbers of pages. Okay, let me put you into attention. The maximum numbers of pages for project, report, dissertation, or thesis is for bachelor degree plus minus 100 pages. So it could be like between 90 to 110, right? But it cannot be 30, it cannot be 40, right? There's number of pages, page layout, type of paper to be used. So when you print, it has to be on 80 gram punya paper, bukan 70, right? B5 size. So this is all the regulation. Margins, spacing, everything has been decided, and you must follow this guideline. So my advice, make sure you get the soft copy of previous thesis, the correct one. So doing all your work using the correct template. You don't have to redo ataupun reformatting according to the required format. So just do it right from the beginning. So you akan tak buang masa lah. This is manual. Right, next one, apart from UTM thesis manual, at the department level, we have this PSM guideline. Okay, but unfortunately, this is only in Malay version. So this is additional guideline, but I would say this guideline is very practical. It tells you step by step on PSM. Okay, everything about PSM. Yeah, stop moving. Okay. Right. So this is the procedure pelaksanaan projek sarjana muda for our program. So it has detail here what is PSM. So we have 2 credit PSM1 and 4 credit PSM2. And then what is happened dalam PSM1, PSM2, earlier. So all of you has been assigned by a supervisor, and it was made randomly. Okay. Penetapan penyediaan pajak dibuat secara rawak oleh pengaras PSM, and you have been assigned with your own supervisor, right? So kita look at point 5 number 1, pelajar diingatkan bahawa kerja-kerja dalam PSM1 dan PSM2 merupakan kerja yang diselia. So it is supervised work, meaning to say you cannot do any submission without getting consent from your supervisor. That's why every single submission that you are going to do, you must obtain signature from your own supervisor. So if you receive any submission without official signature from your supervisor, so we will not constitute that as a submission. Okay, let me repeat. If you submit any work without consent and signature of your supervisor, we will not accept that as an official submission. Okay. And then you have lecture. So I'm not going to read all of this, but just wanted to highlight a few things how this guideline work. Okay, let me just give you one example. 7.0 kelulusan tajuk dan objektif penyelidikan. Okay, you baca 7.1 pelajar bla bla bla. Okay, pelajar dengan bimbingan penyelia dikenaki menghantar 2 cadangan tajuk dan objektif. Dua tajuk dan objektif kepada penyelaras PSM pada hari Isnin sebelum jam 12 tengah hari. Tak pernah lagi 12 malam, tak pernah lagi 5 petang, tak pernah lagi 8 pagi. Right? It all stated in this guideline. All submission will be 12 noon. Okay. Minggu ketiga semester ke-7. Right? So this is the first submission deadline that I've been telling you right from the beginning. So there'll be a lot of submission. This is the first ever submission. Okay. So to give you to give a better overview for you to understand why I run this crash course today, right? To show you how important and how critical it is. Okay, let me put this one. So this is Sunday, right? So when is your semester going to begin? First day lecture? 16th of October, Sunday, 16 October, and then you have 23rd October, and then you have 30th October. Then come according to panduan PSM on Monday minggu ketiga. Tahu tak? This is week number 3, this is Monday. So tarikhnya adalah 31st October. So what happened? On 31st October, you must submit. This is your first submission, yeah? So 31st October, you must submit tajuk 1 with 2 research objective. And then you must submit tajuk 2 with 2 research objective. You see, there's only like 2 weeks officially if we are going to follow the semester timeline. So that's why I take my own initiative to run this course today to give you more time to get yourself prepared. And I wanted to highlight this so that you have a better understanding what are you going to face in the upcoming semester. And remember, during these 2 weeks, you are not only taking PSM. There are some other courses as well that you're going to register, that you must attend the lecture, that you must do your assignment and whatnot. Okay, so this 2 weeks and 1 day is very crucial. So it's basically for 7 days plus 7 days plus 1 day. So you have 15 days in your semester 1. So if you are not doing anything starting from today or even before this, if you're going to wait until 16th of October, you only have 15 days to come up with the title 1, title 2 with 2 objectives each to get approval from your supervisor before you can make submission on Monday, 31st October 2022. Right, understood? Can you all follow? Do you understand, I mean, how critical this process is going to be? Right. So this is, yeah, submission first round. Yes. I'm going to explain that later on. But basically, what you need to have in mind, on 31st October, you must submit 2 titles, each title with 2 objectives. So basically, 1 for 2 and 2 for another 2. Right? I'm going to explain this on that after this. But I wanted you to, together with me, understand how crucial this timeline. So I don't want you to play. That's the message that I wanted to give, especially to my own supervisor. So my own supervisor, be careful. You all akan busy dengan your other subject. Saya akan busy dengan my own work and whatnot. So we all must work together so that you can submit successfully on 31st October. This is based on panduan PSM ya. Ni sebut ni kita follow. So at any time kita akan follow this one saja. Okay. Pengantaran CPP. Okay. And then you ada next submission ni. Pengantaran CPP ya. Nanti saya ajarlah what is CPP, but you know, at least saya nak tunjuk kat you ada another submission pada minggu ke-10. Hari Isnin sama juga 12 noon. So semua submission kita 12 noon ya, bukan 12 tengah malam, bukan 5 petang, bukan 3:30 petang. It's all 12 noon, right? So I want you to read all of this on your own ya. Banyak pun ni 14 slide saja. I think you can finish within half an hour. Mungkin takkan faham everything, but you get some feelings lah towards the PSM punya guideline. So you can read this on your own later on. I will share with you. So that is PSM guideline. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, right from the beginning, what you are doing is actually at the end of the day, at the end of your 4th year, you're going to come up with your own thesis ataupun project sarjana muda. And thesis in UTM consists of 5 chapters minimum. I would say optimum. Okay, 5 chapters. So it is fixed: introduction, literature review, research methodology, analysis and findings, and conclusion. So you can check thesis from your seniors. I would say 98% only consists of 5 chapters. Maybe they are like 2% having more than 5, like 6, okay, but not 10 lah. I'm talking about undergraduate, degree thesis. So that is case where yang akan expand tu is only on the on this literature review. Okay, yang ini je mungkin ada possible akan jadi chapter 2. This is your chapter 3. Ini akan jadi chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. So this is chapter 1. So the only possible chapters that you can expand is only chapter 2 on literature review. So the remaining of the chapter will stay, and if you have more chapters dalam literature review, then I can bring up to a bigger numbers of chapters. But by default, it's only 5, and I strongly recommend for you to stick with 5 chapters only, right? So don't get too ambitious, because the quality ataupun the grade of your thesis is not determined by the thickness of your thesis, right? So the more you put, maybe more mistake that your examiner will discover. So that going to put you on risk. So this is overall thesis, but kita akan buat step by step. Okay. So PSM chapter 1, 2 and 3 would be dalam PSM 1. So this is your PSM 1. PSM 1. And this is PSM 2. So this semester 2 lah. So this is semester 1. So at the end of semester 1, you must submit and complete and present chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3. And then you have 1 or 3 to 4 weeks semester break. You come and continue your final semester, semester 8. You akan buat chapter 4 and chapter 5, and then you viva and submit. So that is basically 5 chapters. So what is happening dalam PSM 1 semester depan, You will attend lecture weekly, as I mentioned right from the beginning. And then submission of titles and research objective. And then vetting and approval by, bukan SPM, PSM panel, Project Sarjana Muda panel. And then submission LKP, chapter 1 sampai chapter 3. And then Viva. Sebelum ni dia ada satu lagi ni ya, submission CPP, cadangan projek pendidikan. This is laporan kemajuan projek. You akan baca guideline dan you akan dapat semua ni lah. And finally you ada Viva. So, okay, semester 1 lecture, semester 2 is independent research work together with your supervisor. Submission of LAP, laporan akhir projek. So dalam PSM2, you must resubmit chapter 1 until chapter 5. You ada Viva and then your final submission. Okay, so that's how we split between PSM1 and PSM2. And now I would like to explain the question raised by Dave earlier on the submission. Okay, okay, pada 31st October ya. So on 31st October 2022, right? You must submit title 1, title A lah senang, title A, and also title B. So title A will have its own research objective 1. Apa dia? Research objective 2. Title B will have its own research objective 1, research objective 2. Right? So this is what you need to submit on 31st of October. You kira ni sebenarnya ada lebih kurang 2 bulan lah from now, from today. So you're going to submit this title using this form. Okay. Borang cadangan tajuk dan objektif penyelidikan. So nama pelajar, program isilah, okay, nama penyelia, and then cadangan tajuk. Okay, anak you pay attention, this is cadangan tajuk. So issues and problem. And then objective, which is RO. RO1, RO2. Right? And then you must get approval, signature from your supervisor. Say, I'm going to sign and allow Imran, I think one of my supervisors. And the dates, 3rd of September 22, then only you can submit this form to Dr. Farah Azwani. Right? So this is the form. And I want you to pay attention to this. Pilihan tajuk keberapa. Okay, tengok dekat sini. So you have pilihan tajuk pertama ataupun kedua. Tak ada ketiga lah. Kita hanya bagi you hantar 2 tajuk saja. So let me take example Dave ya. So Dave mungkin dalam your tajuk yang pertama dia nak buat on cost estimating. Okay. Yang ini Dave nak buat building services engineering on energy efficiency, for example. Right? So Dave, you have 2 titles, title A and title B. You have discussed this with your supervisor. Of course, you have come up with what are the issues, the problem, the objective. Dah ada lah detail detailnya dah ada. But the day before submission, okay, mungkin pada 30 hari bulan 10. Gitu. 30 hari bulan 10, dah lepas buat solat hajat, solat istikharah semua, you must determine which between title A and title B to be your first title. Okay, Dave, kalau saya tanya you between cost estimating and building services engineering, which one will you put as your first to be submitted? Dave, apa yang berbunyi saya selalu panggil lah kalau you senyap, then you stay where you are. Alright, so Dave decide that title B going to be his first title that he's going to submit. So, you know, automatically your cost estimating would be your second preferred title. So, dalam this case, bila you pergi dekat borang, Dave akan isi borang yang tulis Building Services Engineering tu, you akan tick sebagai pilihan pertama. Right? And then you have another borang, pergi ambil borang yang kedua. Okay, borang yang kedua tulis pula tajuknya apa? Cost estimating. Buat pilihan tajuk yang kedua. So ni borang satu lah, ini borang dua. Borang dua, this is borang satu. So this is very important point of decision making. Kerana dia akan menentukan your future. Future apa? Okay. Let me explain to you. You are going to submit your on 31st October. So after your submission, okay, submit 31 kan? 31 Oktober. And then kita akan ada vetting. Vetting of the title by PSM panel. So panel PSM ni ada 9 orang staff atau pensyarah lah. And I am one of the panel. So tugas panel ni adalah to vet through. Untuk saring, untuk nilai your proposal. Okay. So kalau tengok tadi, dia hantar tajuk yang pertama. Okay. Tajuk yang pertama dia on Building Services Engineering. Tajuk dia kedua on Cost Estimating. So what panel will do? Remember, we are talking about 120 students. So we're going to receive at least 240 titles and 480 objective. Yang 9 orang panel ni kena tengok dan nilaikan. We have to assess and evaluate. Right? So what is happened is that selepas you submit, panel will be sitting dalam meeting. Kita akan bergerak untuk menilai. And we will only take a look into your first title submitted. So Dave hantar borang satu dan borang dua, tajuk satu dan tajuk dua. So we will only take a look into BSE. Kita tak akan tengok cost estimating. Kita the first cycle kita hanya akan tengok Building Services Engineering. So we go through the title, we go through the issues and problem, we go through the objective, and we found that this is something feasible to be conducted. So kita akan luluskan. Lulus tajuk satu. Ni tajuk satu, ni tajuk dua. Lulus tajuk satu pada, kalau you hantar 31, mungkin 2 hari bulan 11. Okay. Kita luluskan. Dalam kes macam ni. Jadi, when we take a look into, bila kita dah luluskan tajuk satu, maksudnya tajuk dua on cost estimating yang Dave hantar, panel tak baca, tak tengok, tak nilai. Langsung. Okay. But we may have case like contoh, saya ambil nama lain Okay. Alia Syahira. Alia Syahira. Alia, bagi saya 2 tajuk yang you rasa you berminat nak buat.
2 tajuk
Area saja, bukanlah tajuk. Bidang apa yang you minat?
dalam
Tak apa,
management,
untuk contoh je, tak payah. Again?
maybe dalam construction management sendiri
Construction
ataupun dari
management.
segi macam mana cost.
Okay, tak apa. Cost. Tajuk 2? Bidang yang kedua you rasa?
yang kedua Kejap.
Tak payah fikir, contoh je ni, bagi satu benda yang lain selain daripada cost management. Banyak benda you belajar kan 4 tahun ni. Satu lagi bidang ilmu yang you dah belajar apa? Selain daripada cost. Cepat. Contoh je ni. Saya bukannya nak betul salah.
Okey lah, maybe saya bagi kena why the project delay ke apa macam tu lah.
Okay, delay. Kan senang. Alright. So Alia Syaira, she's going to submit 2 title. Okay. Dan masa dia decide 30 hari bulan tu dah solat ajat. Okay, dia kata tajuk pertama cost management. Sebab tu memang dia minat sangat-sangat lah. Kan, minat gila-gila punya. Tajuk 2 tadi sebab supervisor yang suruh buat delay, dia pun letaklah tajuk kedua tu delay. Kan, sebab supervisor saya lah contoh tadi kan. Datang bincang, tak faham, tak sure. Saya membagi cadangan, Alia apa kata you tengok delay? Boleh doktor, minat juga. You pun buatlah on delay. So now you have 2 title, satu on cost management, yang kedua on delay. And Alia submit on 31st October. 31st kan? Saya salah nanti kalau saya cakap ni, you all ni pula. 31st October you submit 31st October. Okay, panel pun mesyuarat pada 2 hari bulan tu, tengoklah Alia punya submission. Kan, kita tengok dulu tajuk yang pertama, which is cost management. Kita tengok cost management, isu tak ada, objektif tak jelas, problemnya, mungkin problem yang Alia mention tu is already being resolved. Dah ada solution, it's no longer a problem. Jadi kita tak luluskan tajuk 1. Okay. Ni pada 2 hari bulan saya bagi contoh ni 2 hari bulan 11 ketika panel menyemak you punya submission. Kita tengok tajuk 1, kita luluskan tajuk 1 sebab macam-macam masalah lah. Banyak kelemahan dalam submission. Bila kita tak gagalkan tajuk 1, baru kita pergi tengok tajuk 2 Alia. On delay. Okay. Tengok isunya bagus, problemnya jelas, objektifnya bagus. Kita luluskan Alia dengan tajuk number 2. Pada 2011 ni lah. 2022. You see, these 2 different case. Untuk Alia dan Dave, both of them submit 2 topics. And accordingly, based on their preferred lah, tajuk nombor 1 dan tajuk nombor 2. Untuk case Dave, kita panel akan nilaikan your first proposal and kita luluskan. So that's it. Tajuk 2 Dave tu tidak dilihat, tidak ditengok, tidak dinilai langsung. Dalam case Alia pun sama dah decide nak buat cost management and second preferred topic is on delay. Unfortunately, tajuk nombor 1, panel tak convinced to approve. So, kita gagalkan pilihan tajuk pertama. Right there, selepas tu terus kita tengok Alia punya tajuk yang kedua. So, tajuk kedua Alia on delay, isunya jelas, problemnya ada, objektifnya jelas. So, we agree and kita luluskan Alia punya second title. Right? So this is the scenario, 2 different scenarios I wanted to highlight to show you how important it is for you to decide which title would be your first title and which title would be your second title for your submission. Ini ni yang saya kata ni, you dah ada preparation untuk 2 tajuk, but the day before you submit ataupun 1 minute ataupun 1 hour, tak boleh lah 1 minute. Mungkin few hours before submission, you nak hantar pukul 12, mungkin 8 pagi tu bangun-bangun, lepas solat, dah pergi exercise, rasa tenang, rasa fresh, I'm going to change. I'm going to submit cost estimating as my first title and building services engineering as my second title. So this should be done before you officially submit. So dalam masa 15 hari ni, you don't really have to decide lagi lah, okay, which title to be the first one. Explore both of them. Tapi closing to the submission date, then you must set direction which one would be your first and which one would be your second objective. Right, are we clear, Dave and the rest? Any question on this approval process before we break? Faham Jangan cakap nanti Dr. Zuhairi tak explain pun, penyela tak sebut pun, tahu pun. Tu semua kalau saya dengar, saya akan lagi student yang cakap tu sampai jumpa. You duduk depan saya. Sekolahkan dia lagi sekali. Right, so thank you. Okay. Rasa macam dia seorang je dalam kelas saya ni. Mhm, mhm. Tak boleh, tidak boleh. Ya, tidak boleh. So that's why saya cakap tarikh 30 hari bulan ni very important. Tadi saya sebutkan dia akan menentukan your future. Your decision before submission on 31st tu akan determinekan selama setahun in semester 1 and semester 2 that you have to work, you have to fall in love with that topics. Dalam your case ni, um, Dave tadi you hantar Building Services kan as tajuk pertama dan lulus. So be it lah, okay lah kan. So so you tak boleh tukar untuk jawab soalan dia tu. So saya nak explain sikit. Dalam kes Alia, dia memang minat cost management. Okay. So dia letak cost management as the first title. Title number 2 ni dia tak minat pun sebenarnya, tapi sebab tak ada tajuk lain lah doktor, letak je lah delay. Saya rasa macam boleh lah, right? So you simply put dalam kes macam ni, you tak minat, you tak sure, you letak tapi nasib you kurang baik sebab tajuk 2 yang diluluskan. Okay. So Alia akan struggle sebab right from the beginning dia tak ada hati, she doesn't really into the topics of delay. Tapi for the sake of submission, sebab kena hantar 2 tajuk, hantar je, tiba-tiba tajuk tu yang lulus and you have to work with the title in your PSM1 and PSM2. So if I may suggest, or you should, kedua-dua tajuk yang you hantar ni must be both topic yang you comfortable, you like, you rasa you can excel, and you good in that topics. Okay. Contohlah, I think many student having difficulties atau problem dengan legal subjects ataupun law, contract, procurements. Tak ramai, tapi yang minat dia memang excel, saya tahu. Right? So kalau you rasa you really not into law, don't ever put law dalam any of your topic. Jangan, tak apalah second title. Kan? Takut nanti second title yang lulus. So bila second title lulus and you just put that for the sake of submission and you being trapped in your own, trapped by your own decision. Right. Any question? Any other question? Okay, Ifrah. Dia akan membawa saya kepada the last part of my briefing before kita break. Okay, selain soalan Ifrah, ada soalan lain? Okay, untuk jawab soalan Ifrah tadi, my explanation earlier is actually referring to the first cycle of the submission and result. Ini, minggu ketiga, you submit first cycle, and then kita akan keluarkan result in the following weeks. Okay. So if, saya letak nama lain dah, nanti orang kata saya berdoa ke apa kan, saya letak nama Z. Okay. Saya tahu tak ada nama ni dalam kelas ini. Okay, contoh Z, okay. Z hantar tajuk pertama, gagal, tak diluluskan. Tajuk kedua juga tidak diluluskan. So you akan dapat Z ni pada minggu keempat. So whereby tadi Dave dah enjoy dapat tajuk pertama, Alia dah dapat tajuk yang kedua diluluskan. Okey lah kan, dia tak lulus. Tapi Z ni tak fortunate. Dua-dua tajuk 1 dan tajuk 2 dia tidak diluluskan oleh panel PSM. So what Z needs to do is that Z akan go through the same process dalam cycle yang kedua. So dalam cycle kedua sama prosesnya, hantar 2 tajuk dengan 2 objektif. For each tajuk akan ada proses penilaian dan akan keluar result lah pada minggu ke-6. Cuma pada minggu ke-6 kan sama ada Z diluluskan tajuk 1 ataupun diluluskan dengan tajuk 2. Okay. Tetapi sekiranya pada second cycle, Z tajuk 1 tak lulus, tajuk 2 pun tidak lulus, right? Kita akan bantu Z dengan forced marriage. Maksudnya apa? Z dah hantar 4 tajuk, dah hantar 8 objektif, semuanya tidak diluluskan for many reason, right? So kita akan kahwin paksa, kita akan buat forced marriage kepada Z dengan cara begini. Remember Dave? Dave hantar tajuk pertama, Building Service Engineering, lulus. Dave ada second tajuk. Second tajuk Dave ni yang kita tengok ni, kita akan simpan dalam bank. Bukan BSN, bukan Maybank ya, kita simpan dalam bank. So, in the case of Z tadi, kita akan buka balik bank ni, cari. Bukan daripada dia, mungkin banyak lagi tajuk-tajuk lain dalam bank ni. Kita akan cari mana yang bersesuaian. Kita pun kenal that particular student. So, mungkin Z, kita kata dekat Z, kita akan bagi you topik cost estimating. Yang idenya asal datang daripada Dave. So, dekat sini, you take it or leave it. Maksudnya apa? Kalau you take it, you kahwin paksa lah. So you kena fall in love with that topic, you kena follow through the process. Tapi kalau you rasa macam I don't want. If you don't want, pada minggu ke-8 kita akan minta you tarik diri. Drop subject. Then you akan buat the upcoming year. So that is the scenario untuk kelulusan tajuk lah. Submission dan juga kelulusan tajuk. Tajuk yang nanti ada cadangan daripada supervisor. Okay, Nazif, as I mentioned, PSM ni is a supervised work. Okay, you need to discuss with your supervisor. Okay, so you all tahu, kena faham, you all kenal your own supervisor macam mana. Kalau you tak kenal lagi, inilah kawan-kawan apa style, macam mana style your own supervisor. I think mungkin ada supervisor yang you tak pernah belajar dengan dia, so you don't really know his or her style. So try to understand your supervisor. Okay, let me just give you this example ataupun scenario, Nazif. So in my case, dalam my own style of supervision, is the same thing, Syaira. Saya sebut tadi kan, thesis, PSM, FYP sama. As far as our department is concerned. Okay. Tapi dalam masa yang sama, you akan ada capstone subject yang lain. Contohnya semester depan, you akan buat project documentation. Semester 8, you ada another capstone subject called project evaluation and development. Okay, tapi thesis, FYP, PSM is, you can consider it's the same thing lah. Okay, my own style of supervision, saya akan bagi task, saya akan let my supervisor to think and propose. Study, cari sendiri isu, cari sendiri tajuk apa you minat, you come and discuss with me, tell me what you wanted to do, then if I feel comfortable, saya akan let you to do that. Okay, itu very basic. But sometimes mungkin when you propose something, you propose topic A, but you look from perspective one. You look from one side. Okay, so when you discuss your supervisor mungkin kata from that perspective tu macam tak critical ataupun too easy ataupun too hard. Dia kata, okay, we stick with the title, with this topic, tapi you look from different angle, you look from different perspective. Itu yang saya kata input from supervisor. But it's not something that supervisor tell you, hey, you must do this, you must do that. No, there's no such thing. Okay, so it is supervised work. The work must come from the student, supervised or advised by the supervisor. Okay, tapi kita ada juga possibility kategori pelajar yang M. Tahu tak M? Apa kategori pelajar M? Siapa tepat, saya bagi hadiah. First week you boleh claim dengan saya. Pelajar ada penyakit M. Tahu pun. Thank you Nazim. I claim nanti ada dengan saya first week. Okay. Ada setengah-setengah pelajar ni yang ada penyakit M dia tinggi. Penyakit M tinggi maksudnya apa? Penyelia suruh baca, tak baca. Penyelia suruh cari artikel, tak cari artikel. Penyelia suruh submit tajuk, tak submit tajuk. Penyelia suruh datang meeting, tak datang jumpa. Supervisor hantar mesej, dia tak balas. Okay. So this category of student, at one point, okay, mungkin pada minggu kedua, you kena start minggu ketiga kan? Mungkin pada hari Isnin, minggu kedua, you tak pernah jumpa supervisor lagi ni. Supervisor panggil you, saya kata, okay, Abu, minggu depan nak hantar ni. Ada idea? Oh tak ada doktor, saya dah baca dah. Yang dia tipu kan, dia tak baca pun. Dia kata, oh I have read, I couldn't find, I'm not sure, I'm confused, what not, I'm stressed. Okay. So that is cases where supervisor kata, okay, let's do this. I have this one topic. You take a look, see if you're interested to pursue that topic. Okay. So that is just a sharing atau suggestion by the supervisor. It's up to the student whether you want to take it or not. Okay. Dan saya tak rasa ada mana-mana pensyarah yang akan paksa pelajar untuk buat tajuk from the supervisor. Okay. So tadi saya beri contoh, kalau I've read some interesting research topic, so I suggest, and then you may want to take it or not. Okay. And there are also cases whereby the supervisor ada research grant, ada research activity that we are currently doing. So we wanted you to work together within that area on topic. So you may want to take it, or you may also want to suggest other topic of your own. So biasanya kalau dia datang daripada itu sebab pelajar sendiri gagal, fail to present a good research idea. Dia tak adalah nak kata the supervisor purposely instruct you to do a particular topic. Right? So 10-10 before we break, maybe one more question if you have any. Right. If there is no question, stop for 10 minutes. Okay. We're going to take a break for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Boleh tak 10 minutes? Well, 10 minutes, you can take your food and then grab your drinks lah, put next to you. Janganlah duduk, really enjoying the food with the drinks. That one, 20 minutes pun tak cukup. Okay. So let's have a 10-minute break. When we come back, we will continue the content that I'm going to share. Right? So 10 minutes from now, I'll come back afterwards. Right. I have shared the Google Form link to record your attendance. Let me remind you not to spread that link to your friend who did not attend this session. Right. Just click from the chat box and fill up or answer the simple question to record your attendance. Thank you very much. Right. Let's continue. It's already 10:30. So I have in the first part of the briefing ataupun the workshop, I have shared to you the overall process, okay, of the PSM implementation. Maybe overall too quite briefly, but I have explained in detail for the first hurdle that you're going to go through, which is the submission of titles and objective. So, which is happen to be which is going to be happen in third week, semester one, roughly 31st October 2022, right? So it's about 2 months from now. So now, where do you start? I believe that some of you have already started communicating with your supervisor. I knew some of the supervisor even have created the WhatsApp groups um, to communicate with their supervisee. If your supervisor have not created one, perhaps you may want to create the group, add on all your friends, and then you text your supervisor. Maybe one of you text your supervisor personally, inform them that you have created the group and would like to add him or her to that WhatsApp group. Okay, so it's the student. If the supervisor did not change for you, then it is your responsibility to chase your supervisor, because I think the role is on the supervisee, yeah, the student. But if the supervisor have proactively created the group, then you can just continue with that. But if you happen to be no WhatsApp group with your supervisor, you may want to call up your friend, group them all of you together, and start inviting your supervisor in that group chat. And then I believe some of the advisor even have started giving instruction, or ask you a specific task to do. I know some of them, we already communicated this. So I know some supervisors are very advanced, some are just, very early discussion with student. Some may not even started anything yet because they are expecting that the student will come and look for them, because you are the one who wanted to learn. So you must go and find your own supervisor. So as a research student, as a research sebagai penyelidik, where do you start? Right? So of course, this is the overall research process. Okay. So theoretically, the process started with the idea. Okay. Started with the idea and then you conduct your literature review. So literature review is simply said reading, and reading sampai muntah. So it involves a lot of reading. If you don't read, then you don't know the literature. You don't know the story behind the titles ataupun area that you wanted to do, right? So within this ni adalah technical, very technical. I'm not going to explain this. And then you proceed with the research design, the planning, together with the methodology yang saya sebut tadi, ataupun apa? The bridge. right? To connect your problem with the solution, right? And then you conduct your data collection, you analyze, and then you conclude. Okay, ni technical lah, saya tak explain yang ni. Saya sekarang mungkin too early for you to digest juga. So you basically, you dah buat design the methodology, you collect data, you analyze the data, and then you conclude. Okay, so basically your PSM1 is over here. Ini PSM2 onwards. Yeah. So this is PSM1, this is PSM2. Sampailah the research design. So at the end of semester 1, you must also, apart from preparing your chapter 1, 2, and 3, so dalam chapter 3 is the research methodology together with the instrument, the alat, okay, instrument that you're going to use to collect your data. It could be interview question, it could be observation form, it could be questionnaire survey. So those instruments must be ready at the end of semester 1. In fact, during the Viva PSM1, panel will ask you to show your instrument. So after PSM1, during the semester break, you can start collecting your data. And then bila early semester 2, continue collecting data. Kalaulah during your semester break you manage to get enough numbers of data, then you no longer need to collect data. Right semester 2 begin, you can start doing the analysis and conclusion. So that will wrap up your overall research process. So now you are stuck here. Okay, we are still here. We are talking about what to do. Okay, the ideas. Apa nak buat? Tadi Alia pun tak mampu kan. Saya minta second topic pun tak boleh nak came up lagi. So this is this input to help you to start thinking. Okay. So I wouldn't say topics lah. Topic tu macam a complete sentence of topic. So you may not have the topics as of today, but at least you must know what would be your research area ataupun team. Tema apa you nak buat? That was part of my question kan dalam your attendance record tadi. Okay, I want you to quickly respond to that survey 92. I'm going to close maybe in few minutes. So whoever have not completed the response, please do so. We have 92 at the moment. So I'm going to close that very soon. So make sure you record your attendance by answering those questions. Okay. You may not have that topics ataupun area of the team yet, but the following factors is the factor you need to consider when selecting that topic ataupun area. Satu, the resources in terms of time, money, and software. Okay, how long do you have? So you have 4 months if each semester. Semester 1 ada 4 bulan, semester 2 ada 4 bulan. But this 4 months is not effectively for PSM sahaja. You have other courses, you have other program, you have other activities, you have makan-makan, you ada time nak main game lagi, kan? Nak pergi main bola lagi, futsal lagi, nak pergi jogging lagi. So all those within 4 months, termasuklah tidur. Right? So how much time that you can allocate for PSM? Okay. Money ataupun software mungkin not that critical because this is literature, common lecture notes. And then limitation and constraint in terms of data, time, confidentiality, and also validity. So confidentiality ini very closely related when you have information related to cost. Kan, you nak buat contohnya cost comparison between concrete punya road dengan premix punya road. Okay, so you need the cost information in order for you to do comparison. So you must have access to the cost data. So sometimes you feel like, it's okay, I can get from my senior, I can get from my friend, I can get from my father because he's, my uncle, he's a contractor. Okay, so you thought that it's easy for you to get the cost, but in actual fact, during semester 2, when you wanted to collect data, all this information is not available because according to these people, oh sorry, kita tak boleh bagi, this is confidential. Okay, you minta from your previous company, LI pun dia tak bagi because kita this is confidential information. Okay, and sometimes the issue of validity. Data tu data tahun 2018, before COVID. Sekarang if you're talking about price, the cost, 2022 post-COVID, there is a huge difference. For instance, the reinforcement bar. So the cost data tu must be a recent one to make sure it is valid. So number 3, personal interest into the subject area. Okay, I have listed quite numbers tadi. Which one is your own interest? Kalau you minat law lah. Kalau you minat practice. Kalau you minat management. Kalau you minat business. Kalau you minat technology. Do not get intimidated with your friends ataupun your supervisor. You must have your own personal interest because you need to fall in love with this topic. Both topic 1 and topic 2, because it is possible for you to be approved either title 1 ataupun title number 2. What are your personal strengths and weaknesses? Some student ni dia memang very analytical. So if you are doing subjects or topics like legal practice, contract act, whatnot, you can excel. Some student good in numbers, costing, data, financial, dia suka. So you do that. Okay, look into your own personal strength and weaknesses. And what is the current trend? Current trend tu maksudnya kalau nowadays ni, apa yang orang selalu cakap? Okay, what are the current topic, hot topic dalam construction? Bagi saya, okay, saya nak panggil nama ni sebab ramai yang tak muncul. Saya akan panggil nama, saya nak... So everyone must get ready. I want you to tell me satu trend ataupun what is the boom news ataupun matters lah dalam construction industry. So let's start with participant ni. Okay, participant. Goh Yi Ling.
Doctor.
Yes. Bagi saya answer. Give me satu issue ataupun trend related to construction industry.
Overhang property.
Overhang property. Good. Iza Erisha.
Hello, Doctor.
Yes, bagi saya answer terus.
Variation of price, VOP.
Okay, pandai. Aiman Naim. Aiman Naim. Aiman Naim satu.
Riba.
Apa dia? Aiman, dengar ulang balik. Syukri. Jalali.
Green building.
Green building. Tapi besar tau green building, ada banyak aspek dalam green building. Kalau you nak buat research, jangan hanya green building. Look into specific dalam green building. Syaira. Syukri, mana yang untuk hutang tadi tu tak muncul tu? Saya masih menunggu jawapan. Syaira. Panjini. Robita. Ini student saya ni, tak boleh jawab siap. Robita.
Material cost.
Material cost. Tu dah ada tadi VOP tu.
Baik.
Jenny Y. Jenny. Tu dia. Ada 5 je saya dapat. Overhang property, variation of price, green building and material cost lah. Okay. So that is what you claim as the current trend. But I believe lah what you've been saying macam VOP ni very memang tengah hot issue because of the fluctuation of price due to pandemics. So do the overhang property. Azrali mentioned green building. As I mentioned, kalau you talk about green building as general, dah lama dah kita green building. I think more than 10 years. So you can look into a specific area within green building. You're talking about certification ke, you're talking about material ke, you're talking about technology ke within green building. Kalau cerita pasal acceptance of green building, awareness of green building tu dia dah, it is no longer a current trend. People been investigating on that aspect for so long already. Okay, right. So that is current trend. So kalau kita nak tahu current trend ni, where can we get information about current trend? TCIE, you wanted to know about current trend. Where can we get information about current trend? Where do we get information about current trend? Radin, Timala, Adibah. Seorang pun tak muncul ni. Hello. Ya, you all kalau you check dekat chat, kadang saya tak buka atau bila saya buka saya tak nampak ni. Aiman Arif Rasa. Wow, yeah, Joel is talking about costing. Mungkin could be on statistic DOSM punya website ya. Yeah, I know Shifa news. Tapi news kat mana? I know Shifa. News ni of course lah kan, you can listen from the prime time punya news. You can look into a specific news on construction industry. So you may find a specific publication. Contohnya DH. DH. Tahu tak DH? Janganlah beli ni berita harian Metro. Kena beli DH. Okay. Kena beli business news. Ni you akan dapat lah benda-benda yang relevan. Kalau baca berita harian, kita ada small portion je within that whole newspaper. So kalau all these business news, they're very specific publication. Right. And lastly is the previous research. So actually dalam setiap thesis atau dalam setiap research report, dia akan ada satu part towards the end yang dipanggil sebagai future recommendation. Okay, kalau dalam thesis, you all nanti sama chapter 5 towards the end of your thesis, lepas tu dalam chapter conclusion, you must suggest the future recommendation of future research work. So maksudnya contohlah, kalau tadi Dave buat pasal building service engineering, so dia cerita apa dia buat, 5 chapter towards the end, okay. For future research, I would like to recommend another researcher to look into the aspect of sustainability of building service engineering. So you can take out from there. So kalau you baca previous thesis, dia akan ada this portion of future research recommendation. You can take out from there. You can extend the work that has been carried out by the previous researcher. Okay, this is your the choice ataupun research team. So basically this research team deduced dihasilkan by Dr. Rosli. I think he already retired long time ago. So he analysed 10 years punya thesis by our department. So what students have done, so we group that, we categorize the work into this 2, 4, 6, 7 research team. So it could be on economic and cost management, or construction IT, or education and research. So education research contohnya, kenapa pelajar construction ataupun QS tak berminat sambung masters ataupun PhD. Okay, apa beza syllabus construction di UTM compared to UTHM, compared to UM, compared to UiTM. Okay, itu contohlah research related to education and research within construction and quantity surveying within our departments. Yang lain-lain tu saya rasa you all tahulah. This is all actually relevant to the courses that you are taking over 3 to 4 years or more than that lah for diploma holder students. So you have learned many of these themes in the previous years. So now dalam 4th year, you choose one of the theme ataupun area that you think you like it, you love it, you have a strong interest, you ada strong capability within that topic. So tak ada masalah pun kalau you buat tajuk 1 dan tajuk 2 within the same team, tak ada masalah. Okay, tajuk 1 nak buat course untuk design economics, tajuk kedua nak buat cost control, boleh. Okay, dia bukannya semesti you cover 2 different team. It could be the same team, not really an issue. Okay, tadi saya kata every title must have minimum 2 research objective. Okay, and this research objective, it has to be SMART. So what is SMART? SMART is S stand for specific, M measurable, A achievable, R relevant, T and time based. So ini sajalah yang mungkin tak applicable in every single research objective, tapi SMART tu perlu ada. Maksudnya objective you must be very specific. It is something that you can measure. Because remember, you must answer to your own objective at the end of semester 2. So PSM 1, you have the research objective. And dalam PSM 2, you must have the answer. Okay, and to connect this PSM 1 and PSM 2 would be the methodology ataupun your chapter 3 of your thesis. Must be achievable, maksudnya when you design, when you formulate your own research objective, you kena ingat, I'm doing this undergraduate thesis, I only have 2 semesters, I only have 1 year to do. You can actually formulate a very strong, complex research objective, tapi you may not be able to answer ataupun get the answer within 1 year ataupun 2 semesters. You may need 3 years. Maksudnya you punya objektif tu sesuai untuk PhD. Kalau you punya objektif tu can only be solved within 2 years, you can buat masters. So kalau PSM between 1 to 2 semesters, more or less about 8 months. So mesti buat objektif yang boleh dicapai, because at the end of the semester 2, we will ask you what will be the answer of your research objective. So PSM 1, you present your title kan, PSM 2. So kita ada panel, terbalik saya punya N tu. Panel Viva, panel Viva. So it's the same person. Kalau semester 1, you present PSM 1 tu ada nama saya, contohnya Azam R. Dekat PSM 2 pun nanti saya akan ada juga. You akan present at the same panel. So saya dah tahu dah masa PSM 1 what you wanted to do. Apa yang kita dah recommend, apa yang kita suggest to you, for you to do. So masa PSM 2, we will definitely remember lah what we ask you to do, and we expect you to provide us the answer based on the research objective 1, research objective 2 yang telah diluluskan dan telah divivakan pada PSM 1. We expect you to have the answer dalam PSM 2. Right. So in order to come up with SMART research objective, so an objective, a particular research objective must contain 3 components. Okay, dalam satu statement research objective, when you formulate your objective, you must have 3 things. Satu, kena ada keywords. The second you must have is the subject, and the third one is the focus. Okay, saya dah warnakan 3 benda ni supaya you ada better understanding. Right. Let's take a look at the first example. To compare the unemployment rate among all European countries. Okay, so the keyword is the green one, to compare. Itu yang you nak capai, you nak compare. Bila nak compare, you mesti ada more than one thing dalam you punya focus. Okay, so sebab tu you nak compare apa? What will be the subject? You nak compare the unemployment rate. You nak compare the duration of preparing the interim payment certificate. You nak compare the time taken to bind the contract documents. Okay, so you can ada subject. Apa yang you nak compare? You nak compare the unemployment rate. And then what will be the focus? You nak compare siapa ni? You nak compare among the European countries. Contohnya antara UK dengan Sweden, dengan Denmark, dengan Belgium. So those are European countries. And then another example to analyze. You nak analyze. So biasanya when we analyze, dia melibatkan time. Tadi saya katakan smart yang tadi tu ada T. So you nak analyze the sama juga, the unemployment rate. Okay. Tapi you nak tengok the evolution from 2010 to 2020. Okay, 2021, 2010 employment rate berapa? Unemployment rate berapa? 2011 berapa? 2012, 13 sampailah 2020. Untuk satu negara, contohnya UK. Okay. Then kalau you nak correlate dengan the first objective, you kena tengok unemployment rate punya analysis from 2010 to 2020 among say 5 EU countries. UK, Belgium, Sweden, France dengan Germany. Okay. So tiga tu keyword, subject and focus kena ada dalam every of your objective. Okay, saya tengok yang tengah pula. Ini contoh student buat. I think maybe 2000 Akmal Ana 2000 I think she graduated masa COVID 2020. Okay. To measure the satisfaction. To measure, this is the keyword untuk mengukur. You nak ukur apa? You nak ukur satisfaction. Tahap kepuasan. Okay. Yang ukur, the subject is the satisfaction. Okay. Fokusnya apa? Fokus dia on the welfare and benefit. Kalau baca ayat sepenuhnya ni, dia nak tahu, dia nak ukur the satisfaction of the QS lah. You all work in different firm kan? You all pergi LI at different company, different firm. So I wanted to measure your satisfaction of LI trainee on the welfare and benefit provided by the firm. So salah satu welfare and benefit tu contohnya public, contohnya holiday, okay, off day. So ada company hari ni hari whole Johor cuti, ada company tidak. Okay. And then ada pula company even though you practical training you dapat OT. Ada company yang tidak. Ada company yang cover insurance walaupun you LI student, trainee, tapi ada company yang tidak. So kita nak mengukur your satisfaction as the trainee of in different firms. Okay. Yang ini welfare and benefit yang bukan gaji, bukan allowance. Ini on top of gaji and allowance, apa you all dapat. Okay. And then the second objective, ini objektif yang sama, tajuk student yang sama. To identify the effects. Okay. Kesan welfare and benefit to the work performance. Okay. The first objective tadi, dia nak tengok whether kita satisfy, the trainee ataupun the staff satisfy with the welfare and benefit. And number two, dia nak tengok adakah this satisfaction on welfare and benefit ada effect towards their work performance. Okay, so basically your first and second objective ni dia kena tak lari jauh lah. Dia kena correlated to each other within the same aspect. Okay, of the area that you wanted to study. Okay, saya pergi contoh bahasa Melayu untuk mengenal pasti jenis-jenis inovasi baru bagi bahan turapan jalan raya. So the subject is the innovation. Tapi innovation apa? Bumbung, innovation besi, konkret, formwork. Tapi dia nak fokus kepada the surfacing untuk kita punya roadworks. Nombor dua, mengenal pasti implikasi cost. What will be the cost implication terhadap penggunaan inovasi baru? Kalau you pakai inovasi A, berapa dia punya implikasi cost? Kalau you pakai inovasi B, bahan B, what will be the cost implication? If you use material C, new innovation C, what will be the cost implication? And you can actually conclude at the end of the day, inovasi B is the most cost effective for roadworks. Okay, So that is some of the example for you to formulate. Okay, there are some more. Okay, to identify, the red one is the keyword, the underline, the blue one is the focus. Okay, sorry, the subject, and then the green one is the focus, subject, focus. Okay. So saya dah warnakan ni supaya you dapat bezakan lah. Okay. Contoh saya tengok number 4 ni. Number 4 ni mudah. Saya suka bagi contoh number 4 ni. Okay. To identify, you nak kenal pasti the level of compliance. You nak kenal pasti apa? You nak kenal pasti the level of compliance. Tapi level of compliance ni kan banyak. If you're talking about construction, you're talking about building project, they comply tak requirement pakai safety harness, they comply tak requirement kena sediakan toilet and apa accommodation untuk workers, they comply tak dengan requirement DOSH untuk bayar levy to CIDB. That is compliance level. Okay. Tapi fokusnya adalah OKU facilities di rail station. So in this particular objective, you can expand banyak example ya. So saya boleh guna the same objective ni, saya tunjuk dekat you how you can expand. Okay, you boleh tengok OKU facility dekat rail station, you boleh tengok OKU facility dekat mall, tapi ada yang dah buat ni You boleh tengok rail OKU facilities dekat masjid, dekat airport. Kat mana lagi? R&R facilities. Okay, kalau kita pasal R&R facilities, boleh buat pula to compare the level of compliance of OKU facilities in rest and area. Okay, you nak compare apa? The OKU facilities kan, level of compliance. Jadi dalam you punya study, you boleh tengok beberapa R&R sebab kita ada beberapa highway operator. Ada beberapa operator highway dekat Malaysia. Bagi saya 5. Cepat, seorang bagi satu. You naik highway kan, ada macam-macam highway kat Malaysia ni, ada pelbagai operator. General knowledge ni, tak ada orang tahu. KL ke JB ni, apa nama highway tu? Siapa operator? Who operate highway from KL to JB? Which company? Okay, hati-hati nama highway dengan nama operator ya, Fitri. Okay, plus nama company. Okay, plus. Lagi. Siapa operate lekas? Siapa operate NKVE? Okay, sini kita ada banyak company lagi lah saya tak ingat nama company dia. You kena check. Well, if I pick up from Fitri tu betul lah, you ada beberapa highway. Tapi kena check nama operator dia siapa lah. Kita ada Lekas, kita ada Laksa, kita ada Sprint, kita ada Duke, kan? So, but I think some of this ni ada same company ni. Saya pun tak pasti ingat nama company-nya apa. Tapi plus memang nama company lah dan dia operate beberapa highway lah dekat Malaysia. Okay. So, you tengok lah, you pergi dekat R&R dekat plus, you check dia punya requirement OKU, dia comply ke tidak. Pergi Lekas, ada, tak ada, tak ada, tak ada, ada. Pergi Laksa, tak ada, tak ada, ada. Sprint, tak ada, tak ada, ada. Duke, tak ada semua. Okay. Then you can conclude that based on this finding, plus is the best lah in terms of the level of compliance, and the poorest is Duke. Something like that. So inilah how you can expand from what people have done. By only looking at this one particular example. And then kalau saya tengok contoh number 6, assess. Menilai, nilai apa? Nak nilai the readiness. Bersedia ke tak bersedia? Siapa bersedia tak bersedia ni? Dia practitioners dalam Malaysia lah, people in the industry untuk digital construction claim management. Okay, so ada keyword ada subject, other, focus. So usually this is the example of common keyword being used. So if you are doing your thesis in English, keyword ni dia quite variety lah sikit untuk you gunakan, right? Tapi kalau you doing your thesis in bahasa, dia akan end up banyak student akan guna kaedah untuk menggunakan keyword mengenal pasti. But mengenal pasti, ini bahasa Melayu lah. Mengukur, kalau you translate dari sini pun boleh, tapi some of them tu dia akan lead to mengenal pasti juga. Okay. But if you using English, this would be the keywords. Right. Any question? So dua objektif could be the same keyword, could be different keyword. Tapi objektif satu dengan dua must be within the same aspect. Jangan lari jauh sangat. Any question? Semua senyap. Jadi dia pun dah hilang dah. Agaknya makan mi goreng ni. Okay. Kalau tak ada soalan, saya ada soalan. Nanti saya tanya cepat. Sebelum saya bagi you soalan, you better ask me question. Okay. Alright. If you have no question, now I want you to work. Okay. As I told you, please remember, I am spending my own time, sacrificing my weekend and public holiday to assist and help. So I need your cooperation and commitment as well. So let's make these 4 hours something fruitful, something beneficial for you to get yourself prepared. Okay. So wait. Okay. So what I need you to do, maybe you can just work on your Microsoft Word dulu, okay, or any any apps lah where you can text. If you're using phone, you can use notes ke, reminder ke, Google Keep ke, wherever you can type lah. Okay, you can start typing and do this exercise. So what I want you to do, kita akan tengok ini. Yeah, to start with, kita nak start with idea. So in this activity onward, I strongly recommend you to choose something that you memang intend nak buat. Kalau you rasa you memang nak buat on claim management, then dalam kita punya kelas activity, start thinking and crack your mind, buat exercise yang saya suruh ni on that topic yang you memang nak buat. So do not waste your time. Dalam kelas saya buat activity, you buat topik lain, sebenarnya you nak buat topik lain. Dan ini dengan supervisor, you discuss different topic. So it's going to be waste of time. So all yang you buat ni dalam activity class, although it's just for class activity, do something that you wanted to do. The work that you have done dalam class, you can bring and discuss with your supervisor. Okay, so that will save some time lah. So you don't have to reinvent the process, ataupun redo the process. So we're going to start with this research idea. Okay, so tadi I already asked you to choose one of the top team. Okay, research idea. Okay, so I want you to write what are the theme ataupun area. It could be one of those yang you dah jawab dalam survey tadi. Okay, it could be one of these. Ataupun you nak more specific. Contohnya dalam contract management tu you nak buat delay. Then terus tulis sini delay lah. You can put here construction delay. Okay, you nak buat something on IT, maybe you nak buat dekat situ BIM adoption among contractors. Okay, so you tak semestinya ikut exactly this theme. You can even deliberate ataupun you can put it more focus lah. Tapi if I ask you which theme belong to, you know lah where it is belong to. Okay, so it doesn't have to be this exactly as this word. You can even detail it up. And then next one, I want you to list down the issues. Lambat pula buat ni dia menyorok. Okay. So the second thing that I want you to do, ataupun problem. Okay, saya nak you give me three. Okay, statement. Okay, three statement regarding the team ataupun area yang you nak investigate tu. Contohlah, if you're talking about production delay, you nak cerita pasal ada banyak court cases. Say for example, dalam 2021 ada 1,780 kes berkaitan termination of contract and whatnot. And then impact on progress of work. Lepas tu nak cerita juga delay ni kadang-kadang faktor yang related is weather factors. Macam kita ada several big flood ataupun flash flood recently in last few years. So that would impact on the delay. So these issues of problem statement ni cannot be from your thinking. You must get the information somewhere else. Okay, newspaper cutting could be from article from magazine, any report, statistic from DOS, statistic from DOS, Department of Safety and Health ataupun DOSM tadi tu, Department of Statistic. So contoh statistik kemalangan, statistik kenaikan harga. So those are statement ataupun issues of problem yang strong, right? So do this dalam your own Microsoft Word, dalam your own device. After that, saya akan minta you copy and paste dalam Padlet untuk presentation. Okay, I'm gonna pick randomly some of you, depending on the time that we have, to present your research idea. Right, any question before I start counting the time regarding the that you need to do? So this is research idea. Dr. Only, ya, satu saja. Jahil. Untuk dalam kelas kita buat satu saja, tak sempat buat dua. Buat satu saja. And I strongly recommend, as I said, buat satu yang you memang betul-betul nak buat. Kalau you memang minat sangat course, buatlah course. Kalau you minat sangat IT, buatlah IT. Okay, but be a specific one. Okay, one more question. Any more question? 11:04. Okay, kalau tak ada soalan, okay, you mungkin tak akan produce something perfect, okay, but I want you to start to let the ball rolling by start thinking and start doing something, write something. Okay, buat thesis ni you kena write. Kalau you keep on thinking, dia takkan ada ending. Thinking tak habis-habis. Start writing. So I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. 15 minutes from now. So I expect everyone will have their own research team ataupun area of research and 3 statement. So statement ni I would appreciate, dia akan jadi sangat strong kalau you come with fact and figures. Kat sini maksudnya ada facts and figure. Maksudnya ada fakta lah. Bukannya you rasa, saya nampak, saya tengok dekat site, tak nak. I want some factual. I want the fact and figures to support your statement. Alright? So 15 minutes from now, I'm creating the Padlet link, then I will share and I will let everyone to post on Padlet. After 15 minutes, I'll pick up randomly for you to present your research idea. Okay, so your 15 minutes starting from now. So if you have anything, you can just let me know, then I'll try to respond to your question, or else spend this 15 minutes to start thinking and propose something. I forgot to mention, maybe you can revisit your LI report. Dalam tu you ada mention problems kan. So see, maybe you can pick up some from there as well. Kalau you tak ada idea sangat, you never thought of any PSM title lagi, revisit your LI report. Dalam tu you ada part yang you explain the problems, okay? Or problem dalam firm ke, problem dalam project ke, problem with the stakeholder ke, bila you deal with all the project team and the problem, that could also be a problem where you wanted to address dalam your PSM.